Hello everybody, and welcome back to episode 7 of this Milwaukee Brewers Fantasy Franchise Series. In this episode, the Milwaukee Brewers will be facing off against the Chicago Cubs in a 4-game series. In the first game, it will be Jake Arrieta on the mound for the Brewers and Travis Wood on the mound for the Cubs. As we will do quick manage for this game, as there are runs scored on both teams, so it's a 1-1 game going into the fourth. Now the fifth, still a 1-1 game, as no one can get anything going in this one, as Jake Arrieta will be taken out for Greg Holland, or not Greg Holland, Kyle Barraclough, who holds them up as well. Now going into extras, still tied at 1. A pitcher's ball game in this one, as Eric Thames got hit by a pitch, but they got out of it. Now Mookie Betts up for the Cubs, and another pitching change as the Brewers try to hang on, which they do. Now the top of the 7th, or 12th, as it's still 1-1 going into the 13th. Now runners first and second, and 1 run scores on a single. Now 2-1 game, as the Brewers are going to try to close it out with David Robertson as a ground out, a strikeout, and another ground out to end the game. It was a 2-1 victory for the Brewers. A pitcher's duel in that one, as David Robertson is the player of the game, only allowing 0 hits. Now the second game of this series is Johnny Cueto versus Liam Hendricks. And we're actually going to player lock, and we're going to player lock with Charlie Blackmon in this one, as a lot of players on the team have been doing well. Charlie Blackmon definitely he is hitting .355. So Charlie Blackmon has .355, 6 home runs, 13 RBIs, and we will play with him in this one. Brewers versus Cubs in this one, the second game of the series, as the Chicago Cubs are at home, and Liam Hendricks on the bump for the Cubs, as Charlie Blackmon heads up to the plate in the top of the first. 1 out and a runner on second. Perfect opportunity to score a run early in this game, as he takes a fastball low for ball 1. Now the Cubs have had a little bit of a struggle coming out of the gate. They've lost 4 out of their last 5 in this game, looking to get back on track and try to make a playoff rush and try not to fall behind early in the season, because you can't win a division early in the season, but you can definitely lose one, as Charlie Blackmon is now down 2-2 in the count, looking to just put it in play and advance the runner, as he fouls another one off to stay alive. Still a 2-2 count, as he fouls another one off. This one would have been ball 3, but he fights it off to stay alive. Now almost gets him to swing, but he checks, and the runner is now at third. A single or a sac fly can score the run on that wild pitch by Liam Hendricks. That might be costly if the run does score. Right down the middle, but Blackmon misses it and hits it foul. So he's still alive, but that could have done some serious damage if he got a good wood on it, as he fouls another one off, staying alive in this at-bat, as he bloops it to the shortstop, and it is not deep enough to score the run. So now 2 outs, runner on third, and the run the run did score in that one. So now we are in center field. Charlie Blackmon, it's hit in front of him, That's a little bit short. Might not be able to get to it. As he dives, but he makes a horrible mistake and he dove and it wasn't even close, so it bounces behind him. But luckily, Matt Chapman is only getting a single on that one. Now a runner on third, one out. It's a 1-1 game now. As that one is hit in front of him. Is he going to try to dive again? He is, and he's going to miss it again. As the run's going to score, and that's going to be a double for Rob Brantley. And that'll give the Chicago Cubs a 2-1 lead in the bottom of the second. Now Charlie Blackmon up again in the top of the third. Now a tied game, 2-2. There are 2 outs as he fouls the slider off. As he has been getting pieces of the ball but cannot square one up. As that's a fastball inside for ball 1. Now a 1-1 count. As that's a good slider inside for strike 2. Now just looking to fight. And that is close, but just off the black for ball 2. That could have gone either way. But luckily, but sadly, it didn't matter. As he swings on the fastball inside and up for strike 3. He's up again now in the top of the 6th. Still a 2-2 game with another pitcher's duel in this one. As that's a fastball way outside for ball 1. Not even close. As this is a new pitcher, but I do not know who it is. As that's a fastball up again. This one, Charlie Blackmon swings at for strike 1. As it probably would have been a ball. As he takes the knuckle curve inside for strike 2. As it was close, but it was definitely a strike. Catching the black. As that's going to be a little bloop, but into left for an out. 0 for 3 day for Charlie Blackmon. A rough day for him. Now the top of the 8th, and the Cubs are up 3-2. So the Brewers need to get something going. As Blackmon swings at another strike. 0-1 count. As that's a fastball right down the middle, but he cannot square it up as he is late on that one for strike 2. As that's strike 3 on the slider in and low, as Charlie Blackmon is mad after this 0 for 4 game as the Cubs take game 2 of this 4-game series to tie the series at 1-1. Now the Brewers did have 9 hits, Chicago with 5, but the Cubs were able to capitalize on runners in scoring position much better than the Brewers did. So they were able to take game 2 of this 4-game series. Now for game 3, Danny Duffy on the mound for the Brewers. As there are going to be a few replacements just for a rest day. As Hunter Strickland is on the mound for the Cubs. As we head into the 7th, the Cubs are up by 1, but the Brewers are able to score 2 in the 7th. So it's another pitcher's duel as it's 2-1 heading into the bottom of the 8th. The Brewers bring in Joe Smith to try to hold them, which he does. Now the bottom of the 6th, as Robertson, our closer, will come in and shut the door as they take another 2-1 game. As this has been a very low-scoring series, as the Brewers take a 2-1 lead in the series. Now for the 4th and final game of this series against the Cubs, it will be Jared Eichhoff on the mound for the Brewers. as Jason Grilli is on the mound for the Cubs. A single for Blackman. Now a couple hits there, but no runs are scored as Eichhoff is able to get out of the jam as the Brewers score 1 run in the top of the second to take a 1-0 lead, and a solo home run by, I believe it was Ramirez. Now a 2-0 lead for the Brew Crew as Eichhoff is able to get out of another jam, and a solo home run for Eric Thames as he continues his tear of home runs and RBIs. Double for Chris Bryant, a single for Austin Barnes, but no runs to show for it. Still a 4-0 game. Now Trey Turner on. This is a great scoring that was good scoring position, but nothing to show for it. But it is still a 4-0 game as the Brewers lead heading into the top of the 8th. Or excuse me, bottom of the 7th, actually. J.P. Crawford on third scores as Holland is getting into some trouble now. Bases loaded. And he is going to be taken out for Alex Claudio, and he gets him to pop up and then fly out to get out of that inning, still with the lead. Now a 4-3 game heading in to the bottom of the 8th as Claudio will stay out there. He will hold the Cubs in the 8th. And again, we will bring in Robertson to close it out as he has been stellar. And 3 groundouts as the Brewers win 4-3, and they take this series 3-1 as it was a good series for the Brewers, a tough loss for the Cubs as the Brewers are 1.5 games ahead of Pittsburgh for the division. And in the next episode we will have the Brewers versus Reds series. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in episode 8 of this Milwaukee Brewers Fantasy Franchise Series.